Hello and welcome to Inside Katsina on Trust TV. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Now, for any government that has the best interests of its people at heart, there has to be the overwhelming desire to improve the lives of the people through having a solid economic base. And that positively impacts the life of the people and the populace. Now, for that to happen, an enabling environment needs to be created in order to encourage investments in different facets of the economy in order to give the required boost. In recognition of the aforementioned importance of investments to the economy of any state, the Katsina State Government, under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Aminu Bello Masari, deemed it fit to set up the Katsina State Investment Promotion Agency, KIPA. On this episode of Inside Katsina, we'll be talking to Ibrahim Tukurji Kamshi, the Director General of KIPA, and he gives us an insight into the overall mandate of the agency and what they've been able to achieve thus far. Let's take a look.
Goods and services, resources, especially technology, skills, and innovation has an international boundaries, and within the realms of international relationships, they are supposed to flow freely. And given that situation, it involves certainly certain things because they are competing things and they are the determinants of development. Therefore, it requires basic enabling environments. So therefore, over there, before the advent of these administrations, World Bank is in charge of assessing countries and states and also sub-national within a given state. So therefore, this informed almost all the government in Nigeria and especially the presidency to give an emphasis and make an objective assessment of where this country is in terms of global ranking. When you go by that, global ranking of Nigeria, out of 169 countries, Nigeria ranked 165, which means we're almost in the last positions. And that's informed the government to take a number of reforms, given rise to establishment of Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, and then directing the National Investment Commission to encourage state governments to establish IPAs. IPAs is what we call the Investment Promotion Agency within the states. What does that seek to do is to do a number of issues. One, attract investors, both what you call the domestic investors and the foreign investment, or as some people put it, FDI. Again, the Investment Promotion Agency as subnationals ought to provide a one-stop shop because they are the ones that understand the pinpoints of investors, not just investors from outside, but micro, small, and medium enterprises within the country. So therefore, not only that, the Investment Promotion Agency is expected to promote the potentials of subnational to at national level and at regional and global level, to bring it to the public domain to say this is what we have. For instance, hitherto the establishment of Katsina State Investment Promotion Agency, nobody at the state level knows that Katsina State is number one in terms of cotton production. Katsina State is second in sesame and soybeans production. We are second in producing sorrel, or what people call zobo, or zobo flour. And so we have exposed a number of things that in terms of natural and other resources that Katsina State possess. Additionally, we are in charge of organizing exhibitions, promos, and then of course follow-ups for any investor that has come to Katsina, either to get whatever he needs within and outside the state. So these are some of the functions that are associated with the establishment of Katsina State Investment Promotion Agency. But more importantly, looking at the fact that government is not so sufficient to provide what the public, the citizens requires, there is a need for private sector involvement. Of course, anybody that knows Katsina knows that it's not an investment community, it's not an investment community. So part of our function is to raise and heighten and create awareness and sensitize the citizens of the Katsina to broaden their investment initiatives. So subsequently, we have been doing that, creating those awareness and then bringing one or two person on individual basis to say, look, come and invest. The whole idea is to create partnerships, to create collaborations, to develop synergies, and then to inculcate initiatives among the micro, small and medium enterprise. And of course, we have been inviting people with deep pocket too, to say, look, come and look at what we have. These are the basic things, and these are part of the functions of any simple structure that has been put in place and is called Investment Promotion Agency in the state. So far so good. We will not say that we have succeeded as what we have envisaged because of the associated challenges, the meltdown, global meltdown has equally affected everybody. Of course, Katsina State is one of the subsystems of the global economy. Again, the associated COVID-19 and other issues are arising. But however, over the years, we were able to attract Aliko Dangote, and we have given him a Songhai that is at Makera village, and he has taken it over. The objective of him to take that place over was to transform that place to his research center, agricultural research center of Dangote, because he wanted to invest so much in agricultural businesses. And he wanted to conduct researches and other things, and then equally to train most of the academicians around to be able to have the cutting edge knowledge in terms of agribusinesses and agro-allied services. We have leased it out to the sum of 500 million naira for 10 years, and to us, yeah, that's good money. But it's not just the money we're looking at, because we're looking at the employment creations and then transfer of knowledge. And in his wisdom too, Aliko Dangote has linked up with a Korean NGO, an international NGO that is called Samundong Foundation, and they have been here around. They are going to spend $5 million for 5 years at no cost to the state government, at no cost to Dangote, at no cost to any Nigerian. And they have started teaching the local farmers how to produce rice. And in fact, we have seen the benefit. Hitherto, the farmers are producing 3 tons per hectare, but now they are producing 6 to 7 tons per hectare. And you have seen for yourself the kind of facilities that they are establishing. So certainly it's a good thing. For Dangote too, on himself, out of his benevolent, has given us 340 million to promote micro enterprises among the Katsina women. So each local government will have sourced at least 1,000 women, which we have supported them with 10,000 naira, and most of them are now financially inclusive. Most of them have started developing their smaller startup businesses, and most of them are doing very well. Additionally, he was able to support us with about 60,000 support packs to the victims of bandits around the areas, and each pack cost about 10,000 naira, and if it is 60,000, that's about 600 million the cost, and that is the associated benefit for Dangote presence in Katsina. Again, there is a small output. Now you can export sesame from Katsina, the Axel link. I'm sure you must have seen a small factory put in place in Katsina town that he has started processing sesame, and what they do is they process, they package, they polish, and then export. In fact, they have established like an export hub within the place. So we have linked them off with the Sesame Producers Association, and they are now working hand in hand with that. Additionally, the outfit of Katsina, that is a company that is investing, has equally set up a smaller sesame processing center, and that will really have a trickling down effect, like a multiplier effect, as you can call it economically. Again, we have some other smaller industries, like about 3 or 4 fertilizer plants that have been established, 2 in Puntua and 1 in Katsina by Mangal. So certainly these are part of the how far so far, but as well the Brosino, who are doing the sauna water in Katsina, is now a compound name in Katsina and around. They have been creating this sauna water around, at least within the northwest sub-region, and they have created a lot of employment because of what they are doing.
From research to training to creating employment opportunities, the strides and efforts of the Katsina State Investment Promotion Agency are already evident for all to see, and the benefits are quite clear and tangible. We'll take a break now, and when we return, Inside Katsina continues. Please stay with us.
documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back to Inside Katsina on Trust TV, where we are still in conversation with Ibrahim Tukurji Kamshi, the Director General of the Katsina State Investment Promotion Agency. He takes us through some of the successes recorded by the agency in its efforts to transform Katsina State into an investor's haven.
We have attracted NEBSA and the Federal Ministry of Industry, and they have started establishing Puntua Integrated Textile and Garmenting Park. And we expect that soon there will be a groundbreaking ceremony by Mr. President. They have gone a long way. The Katsina State government has given them a plot of land of about 400 hectares, and they are in Puntua where the prevalence of a lot of cotton producing. And it is expected by the time the park started, there will be a huge multiplier effect because of the associated advantage around the area. We have about 15 gin factories which are comatose now. I'm sure by the time that place started, all those gin company will be rehabilitated. We have been looking some other investors to see how we can link them off. Additionally, the state government too is establishing an industrial park that is expected to provide basic infrastructure within that area for companies to be able to have like the necessary ambience that they are looking for. Necessary ambience in the sense that by the time the place is put in place, it is going to be an export processing park. 2, it is going to be a one-stop shop. 3 is going to be like plug and play. Again, we are into partnership with some international agencies of the United Nations. We are into collaboration with the United Nations Development Program Organization and the UNDP. What do we do there? We wanted to lay a foundation for industrialization of Katsina State. You would need to have certain policies and program in place. What are we doing with the United Nations organization? We are doing a number of things like 5. 1, we are developing a PPP policy framework and manual with them. We are doing training of MSME with them that is sustainable and with requisite criteria that will make sure those MSME are not only sustainable but are profitable, so that they can at least each of them, about 150 of them, employ at least not less than 5 persons in the Katsina State. Again, we are into partnership with the NNPC to establish gas plants across the states, and we have identified about 20 sites, and they have zoomed into action. Soon they will come and establish a micro distribution centers, and the objective there is not only to create employment but also to contribute in the certification program. Again, we have attracted Bhutan Energy Services. They have established a gas distribution center in Katsina. I'm sure you have seen the place. It is a world-class distribution center, no doubt about it. Equally, the NPC are going to establish about 3 mega centers of such type in Katsina, one in Katsina, one in Daura, and one in Puntua, and all in our effort to contribute to the environmental degradation that will have a far-reaching consequences in terms of improved fertility of our soil, which of course some of the misapplication of fertilizer has caused, and therefore bringing down to productivity in our soil. Again, with the UNDP, we're also trying to work around to see how we can market our economic zone with them, and perhaps equally assist in terms of remodeling the place, because the National Export Processing Zones Authority has pledged to as well to come and invest, not only to invest, but to issue license to the Katsina Green Economic Zone. So far, at least, these are the little or few so far how far that we have gone in terms of contributing to the growth and development of Katsina. The silent future of the Katsina State Green Economic Zone is like any other economic zone. Green Economic Zone, or Industrial Park as you may call it, or Economic City as people call it, is an area normally designated for companies and related production enterprises and entrepreneurs that are expected to operate around the area. What do they seek to do is to ensure that there is free flow of investment, and equally to attract the investors by creating incentive within the area, so that by the time the place is in place, it is going to be called a one-stop shop. The segregation of the place is once such an area is designated, then it has a different rules, process, procedures, regulations, and laws that are binding within those that operate around the area, even including tax regime, because there are lower incentives there. Additionally, anybody that produces in that economic zone or economic city, as you call it, is free to export whatever he produces from that area to anywhere in the world. So that itself has given you an impetus and added advantage to operate. But more importantly, what are the advantages in operating there? The advantages is that it is a city and it has been mapped out with a defined area of operations. It is expected to warehouse an energy. So once you are there, it's not expected that you won't see energy at any T point. You will have water provisions, you have sewages, you have all the necessary authorities there that are going to give you license. You have the police, you have the schools, you have the housing estates. So one can live, you have the hotels, you have the training ground, and every other thing that a human being requires to survive, and every other thing that a company, a manufacturer, a processor, a buyer that requires should be in place. The advantage of that is to provide a downward integration, both downwards, upwards, vertical, and horizontal integration, and therefore to provide also the necessary skills, knowledge, finance, technology, all in an inclusive and in that environment. It is an aspirations, very long aspiration, with a very high sense of vision and mission, that of course it will take some years, but it has to start from somewhere, and then we have started, absolutely, and we will do what we think is properly to be done, so that we can put Katsina in a proper perspective and in a proper roadmap towards industrialization of the state.
Definitely, any meaningful development in any sector must start from somewhere. And the Katsina State Investment Promotion Agency has surely made impressive strides in the right direction when it comes to attracting the right kind of investment to Katsina State. From creating meaningful partnerships with corporate bodies and multinationals, to fostering long-lasting relationships with international organizations and donor agencies, KIPA has come a long way in meeting its desired mandate. The establishment of marketing and economic zones, improving agriculture through proper investment, and also providing employment opportunities for the teeming youth across the state. It is quite clear the establishment of KIPA is definitely a step in the right direction. Well, that's the much we can take on this episode of Inside Katsina on Trust TV. Join us again at next time when we shall explore another sector undergoing monumental changes under the transformation agenda of His Excellency Governor Aminu Bello Masari. Until then, I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for joining us.